right, our next speaker. Oh, it's click. User error. Aha, there he is. All right. Our next speaker is Godson Ebenezer Adjovu, who is a PhD candidate in civil and environmental engineering, who will be talking about water scarcity and injustice. How does water quality research fit in? Welcome, Godson.
Thank you very much. My experience with water back home in Ghana has been quite intriguing. In Ghana, getting access to water was a challenge. We walked several miles to fetch water. We swam in the muddy water, not because we love it, but because of the need. We swam in the sea, not for pleasure, as you may see, but because of the need of it. Oftentimes, we swim in the water with a little bottle of fresh water. We rinse the salt off our skin, and we go to school. The issue of water scarcity in Ghana has not changed since leaving Ghana several years ago. People queue in long queues with gallons to fetch water from standpipes and concrete reservoirs. These reservoirs and standpipes are located far away from people's homes, meaning that they have to walk several miles to fetch those water. This situation is worsened by the activities of illegal mining, locally termed as galamsey. This galamsey is not ending soon because they are fueled by powerful people and influential people in society. With issues of all this water, as I grow, I began to question myself, where is the earth water? Well, 97% of the earth water is located in the ocean. Only 3% is available to us. Well, out of that 3%, we don't have access to all. 29% of that is underground. 70% is frozen. Only less than 1% is in the lakes and rivers for us to use. Interesting, right? Well, in terms of availability, you may see that the United States is not doing so bad in terms of per capita water that is available to each individual compared to countries in Africa and Asia. I also look at causes of this water scarcity. And I found out that water scarcity is caused by several factors, including physical factors, which are mostly natural, like what we face here in Las Vegas, which is the desert. While several other countries face many economical water scarcity. Well, while issues of water scarcity and injustice is not really prone in the United States, we can talk about cases of that. I present you two cases of water scarcity and injustice in the US. One is a case of Navajo, which is a nation covering about 70 million of portions of Arizona, Utah, and New Mexico. This nation is struggling to get access to water. An 1868 treaty means that the US federal government was supposed to make sure that they have water, but this is not the case. In 2003, there was a lawsuit that was filed. Recently, I heard the Supreme Court is divided over this issue. The case of Flint in Michigan is a case of injustice. Here, the water supply was disconnected from the Detroit water system to the Flint River, which was highly polluted. This led to tens of thousands of people being faced with dangerous levels of lead and outbreak of Legionella disease. Fortunately, 12 people died from that case. Just recently, the court has ruled that more than $600 million should be awarded to victims in terms of compensation. Well, this is where my research comes in. I study water quality monitoring using remote sensing. In order to study the water that is available and to make it more sustainable, there's a need to carry out research, and that is where I come in. With remote sensing, we can capture images to see the trend in changes of water over time, and then to make fast decisions. Remote sensing methods are cost-effective, and they can track these changes, as I mentioned, over a long period of time, within a world coverage. So as I sit here, as I stand here, I can do research back in my home country, Ghana, courtesy remote sensing, without physically being present in Ghana. With remote sensing, we can track the level of changes of water. Here's an image of Lake Mead from 2000 to 2022. It is said that the lake's elevation has dropped to about 170 feet over the period. With remote sensing, we can monitor water quality parameters like what I'm doing. So here is a study on River Now. Within 7 months, we can see the changes on the particular study area, just with courtesy of remote sensing. That's fascinating, isn't it? I use information from satellite images, and with machine learning algorithm, I develop model to predict these water quality parameters. An example is what you see here, where I use the reflectance from the satellite image with machine learning to show the distribution of the water quality along the river, as is shown in the past study done here. Oftentimes, people ask, why do we do water quality studies? Well, we need to do studies on the water in order to ensure protection of the limited water resources that we have, to ensure efficient use of water, and for early warning of water quality-related issues, and also to protect the aquatic ecosystems. What is the way forward? The way forward is categorized into two. One, policy making, and two, practices. Policy making, we need to carry research, like what I'm doing, to understand the water issue, advocacy, political will. In terms of practices, we need to conserve water, we need to carry out water reuse practices, and do desalination because there's a lot of water in the ocean. In conclusion, majority of Americans have access to safe water. It's a luxury that we enjoy without much thought. But the case of Navajo Nation and that of Flint should be a reminder that safe water and its availability isn't a guarantee. Thank you.
Thank you, Godson. Wonderful job.